You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 25th meeting of the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau Board of Managers. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, we're going to call to order the June 25th, 2024 meeting of the Board of Managers for the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau. May we have the roll call, please?
Becky Greenlaw.
Here.
Kat Harris.
Here.
Corinne Myers. Stacy Benning.
Here.
Diane Gonzalez.
Present.
Martha King.
Here.
Adam Konechny.
Here.
Mike Seitz.
Here.
Don Babcock.
Alan.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments at this time? Hearing none, we'll move right into the approval of our May minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Mike Seitz and a second by Adam Konechny. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I just want to give an update, brief update on our comprehensive plan that's going on at the fairgrounds for the FMEC, which is Fairgrounds Management and Events Corporation. We are moving right along. We didn't have a meeting this past month, and our next meeting is going to be in August. But we're moving right along with the plans for really building the facility up to be a world-class complex where we can attract global activities and events to LaPorte County. Redoing some buildings, expanding some buildings, remodeling, all that is taking place. We're also looking at improvements in the services at our campground. That's becoming a real attraction to people visiting the county to do more at the campground area there and also parking. So a lot of things in the works, and of course with that goes all your other things like your electrical, your plumbing, and those types of things. So moving right along, and we're looking forward to possibly by the end of this year making a full announcement of everything that's going to be done out there. The other thing I'd just like to remind everybody, we are in our retreat planning phase now. We are going to have a presentation by planning next right after this meeting. So just, I didn't know if y'all remember, but please stick around because this is a very important part of what we're looking to do going forward. Putting together the plan now that we have the agreement with NITVC, and we then also have the plans going on the fairgrounds and things are going on. We really need to position ourselves as the Bureau to really do the best job we can in promoting our county. So be sure to stay around if you can. And the advisory committee, I've decided just to stay with 4 members on that advisory committee for now. We did have a 5th person, but she decided it was in conflict with her work schedule, so we tough staff going.
Oh yeah. Family friendly.
Yeah. So I decided to stay with 4, and we do have Doug here, but there's no activity going on at this time, so we're not going to have an advisory committee for this month. And with that, we'll move right into our treasurer's report.
So, questions or?
Oh, yes.
So, I guess this is a broader question. Maybe Jack can answer it. So, you describe all the neat stuff going on at the fairgrounds. Is there any restrictions in our ability to invest in capital projects from the Tourist Bureau?
Restrictions? No. No, there is not. Answer your question.
Okay, so if we could, if there was some element that they couldn't figure out how to fund, and we decided that we would be willing to put some money towards that, legally Absolutely. We could do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a good example, Don, would be several years ago, they came to us, that same group, it was the Ag Association who controls fairgrounds, and asked for our participation with bringing in bleachers.
Sure.
And some of you, Martha, I know you were here, look around, Pat was here, Mike.
Yeah.
And we were able, at that time, it was a lot of money.
Oh, sure.
And it was a big deal for both parties. First time we really stepped into that arena. And we were able to do it in one transaction versus something that may be something, something longer term. We never got past that point that we haven't been able to handle it in one transaction.
No, that's great. No, that's wonderful. I just, you take a look at this relative to the strategic plan too. How much room do we have to do what? I mean, we can't be the bank of LaPorte County. So I was trying to do that.
That's what they like.
But you're right, Don.
I could see some catalytic places, particularly maybe even a little bit more in terms of a sign or something more on the marketing side. I just want to have a good understanding of what our abilities are. So
right.
There's a lot of potential for us to do something, in my opinion. Out there.
Sure.
There's other areas besides capital investment that we can do.
I don't want to lose sight of our mission, but I mean, having the fairgrounds as a destination is a big deal.
It is. It's a big deal. And like you say, we're looking global now, but people coming from anywhere to our facility, but it's got to be something that will attract.
I agree.
And the investment is important. I agree.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments about the President's report before we move to the Treasurer's report? Anyone? Okay, all right, we're gonna go right into our Treasurer's report. Becky?
Okay, thanks, Jack. So for May, accounts payable, total $84,350.77. Payroll for May, $45,914.86, for a grand total of $130,265.63. And I have the May financial position, profit and loss performance, the bank reconciliations, and the claim sheets for the board signature.
Okay, thank you for that. We need to have a motion to approve the Treasurer's report as presented by Becky Greenlaw. So moved. Second. We have a motion by Stacy Benning and a second by Mark King. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to you, Jack.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I am, in difference to the meeting with planning next, we've kept our presentations to a minimum today, Pat, trying to make sure the board has plenty of time to get our business done. We do have a conflict scheduling-wise that's happening right now. Some of our staff are meeting downtown with the infrastructure group that does the safety planning for the boat race. There's a meeting that got scheduled right on top of this meeting. So maybe and several of our staff are down there with that right now. So I'm going to skip some of the normal reports. Under mine, as Pat alluded, we'll be closing this meeting out and then opening up a workshop. It was how this was advertised. So there will be a workshop scheduled to start at approximately 9:30. And the way the law requires is that there will be no votes taken during that meeting. That's an information meeting for the board. And Laura, our attorney, will be zooming in. She just recovering from surgery, and she didn't make this meeting, but she'll be zooming in for that. But that is a workshop and not a meeting where we'll be passing anything, doing any votes. So let's see. Just busy time. Everything's really coming together. We have a vendors meeting coming up July, where we bring all the vendors for the block party and the boat parade in together, and we make sure that we're all on the same page. That's a pretty big task, really. You think about the number of vendors.
Will that include the vendors that are out at the park also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, all the vendors for both events, correct.
Okay.
vendors for Aquacross and Lake Fest we handle separately because there's a reason for that, and we do them separately.
Okay.
The instructions are a little different. So just in closing my report, I mentioned several times the fact that we've really stepped up the block party in the parade. That was an emphasis that we wanted to make sure we hit the home run on this year, and I think we have. Chelsea, you want to give the board a short update on where we're at with that, please?
Sure. We've added, well, the entire event goes from noon until 10. We do run buses from Blue Chip through that time to be able to transport people there. A lot of people do park downtown and just kind of walk in, but we kind of scattered all of our entertainment. So we've got free entertainment for the kids. There's a bunch of yard games and some inflatable games that are totally free. We're hoping to get the Washington Park Zoo to come and bring from noon until 4:30 some small animals.
How small?
Small.
No.
Small. They were talking about maybe little armadillo, kind of small, very small.
But little snakes too, something like that.
So we're
I need to see that list.
Yeah. We're going to bring them. It's all going to depend on weather and the heat and that sort of thing for them. But so hopefully they'll be part of the free entertainment also. We are bringing in 2 caricature artists, which will be also free to everybody. So they're just gonna knock out as many people as they can and not charge the public for that. We have a free face painter, and we're bringing in a free balloon twister also, who will do balloon animals and that sort of thing. We've added a 21+ cigar and arcade bar, so we're gonna have 4 arcade games in the 21+ area with Phil's Bar, along with a cigar trailer. So they do like a cigar lounge type thing, and there's an indoor and outdoor. So all that's within the lot. Yeah, that's all within the 21+ area. So we can kind of help control that also. Dee Haddad is bringing in, I think she was talking about 10 food trucks. Somewhere around there. It may not be quite as many, but she's bringing in a bunch of different merchandise vendors. The kidpreneurs are coming, so they'll set up tables. Sounds like it's kids that have maybe craft items that they like to sell, so we'll be involving them also. We have a couple of bands. We'll have the bags tournament also, which noon is registration, and then 1 o'clock starts the actual tournament. And then from 8 until 10 p.m. we're going to do a carnival glow party. So the carnival will be all day, but then 8 to 10 p.m. we're going to add things just like glow sticks when you come in, and glow sticks to some of their, like the duck pond, some of their games that they're bringing in too. So lots going on.
Yeah, thank you, Chelsea. Yeah, we're really excited. I think we're going to really see the addition of maybe more families staying longer, the way we've stretched this out, and then added family-friendly stuff, so that's really good. So yeah, a lot happening there, certainly, and I think, has anybody got any questions?
Comment about, the face painting, the characters, the balloon artists. When we do the back-to-school rally, and we have about 1,500 youth there, those types of things, I mean, those kids are bombarding those people. So I hope they bring enough people to handle it, because I know
it's going to be limited because we are paying it up front versus them charging the public for the services.
Right. Yeah,
they're going to have a constant line. Right. I did meet with the caricature artist this weekend, and we discussed that. And although we have 2, they're still going to be really, one's going to be geared more towards adults, one's going to be in a separate section geared more towards kids. So we're hoping to relieve a little bit that way.
So I'm just going to give it like a heads up.
Yeah.
It's going to be
especially offering free. It's going to be huge.
And that's what we do to we pay for those people to be there, and then people that come to the valley, it's free, so
Yep.
they're like in lines.
Yep.
So the location is in Washington Park, or is this on Pine and 6th, or is it 7th and Franklin? 7th and Franklin, so it's right
Yep.
down the square, if you will.
Yep, so we have
Okay.
3 grass lots that we're utilizing right on 7th and Franklin. One of the grass lots actually stretches over to Washington,
Yeah.
which is actually where the buses will drop off, is on that Washington side.
Okay.
And then going the other way, we're going to make that the home for X Insurance, because they're bringing 7 boats, and they'll put the boats plus their helicopter, which we're gonna bring in by flatbed, going the other way on 7th Street. So what do you call it, the X Village?
Walk.
Yeah, right. They'll have their own village right there, and that'll be cool, that'll be nice. So, it'll be a-
This is all the way from this construction that's going on up by the 10th and 11th Street. This is all the way from there.
Yes, correct. Yeah, the parade will start actually at 10, and, yes, good point here. So, that pretty much wraps up just the one thing that I think the board's well aware of, but we've always felt like that without the race teams, we don't have a race, right? You gotta have the race team. We gotta have water, we gotta have a community that supports it, you gotta have somebody come in and run it, but without the race teams, it's just not gonna happen. One of the things that puts us over the top is the number of race teams that wanna come back. And the reason they wanna come back is we roll out the red carpet. I mean, this year, we've added a VIP tent just for the race teams. We're doing breakfast at both of their meetings, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. We're having a reception for them and their families on Friday night at Blue Chip. We're doing the awards banquet on Blue Chip on Sunday night. And what am I missing? That pretty much is the stuff that we've added for them. And we're publicizing that out on social media, hoping the race teams will see that, be aware of the stuff that we're doing, and want to go with the prize money. The CVB kicked in some extra money, and so did X Insurance. So we're going to be adding extra prize money to the event. Now, the amount we kicked in is not going to move the needle a lot. It's not going to like double the prize money. We couldn't afford to do that. But we are adding $5,000 from CVB and $5,000 from X Insurance. So it'll be $10,000 added to the prize money, which that's always a big deal too. So yeah, so we're working hard at getting ready. Any questions on the race? Or?
And I'll just comment on the prize money. These guys they're not really hung up on the prize money. To them, it's more of a family activity. The whole group is like a great big family. This is something that they like and enjoy doing. I'd almost put it more on the hobby side of it for them than more so something to make money. But
To that point, Pat, it's a prestigious thing, right?
Exactly.
So it's an honorable thing. So
yes,
I haven't thought enough about the prize itself, but perhaps for future consideration, might think of spend some money on this and have a very unique trophy specifically designed from the Great Lakes Grand Prix to advertise Michigan City, LaPorte County, and it just be something that is really audacious, and it's either given every year or it's passed on year to year or something like that. Since this is a prestigious thing rather than a money thing, I'm just looking at the award itself and seeing, maybe there's some juice in that. I don't know.
that's a good idea. Maybe we should put a team together to try to come up with something. But like you said, it's got to be very unique because these guys are,
yeah, they're multi-million-dollar boats. So that's where I go. Okay, what's the intangible that makes us unique besides all the hospitality and the red carpet and everything else we're doing for them? Is there?
We can step it up.
It's a branding potential for us. So
that's the other part.
Stanley Cup on
Great idea.
yeah.
Jack and I
Right term, yeah.
We'll work on it.
to do that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Donald Sure.
Tell them that.
Jack, I know this is sort of a delicate.
Well, let's pass on.
No. I know that with the race teams it's a lot of with the family affair, but can we politely say something to the race teams about their kids driving around 150 mile an hour on their.
Yeah, I know, that's a constant problem. I mean, we have any kind of event, I know you deal with it at the fair, and it's something we deal with, and we'll just keep working on it.
Okay,
Yeah, it's, I mean.
Yeah, we got our safety team in place, they are
Gotta find a
really
middle
address
ground.
that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it is.
We are trying to fill our vendor lot a little bit more, that maybe that'll cut down on it.
Yeah.
Speed
we're
for
not gonna
that
get
area
one.
anyways.
And some of those kids get going awful fast on those.
Well, there are gonna be different instructions given to them this year. We're actually gonna meet them before they come in with a limited number of vehicle passes to come in to start with. Okay, we were doing it backwards up until this year, so that'll help a lot. There's only gonna be 2 vehicles per race team allowed in there.
You know, and I didn't mean, just for more safety.
Well, absolutely, we always have to put safety first, so that's a good point. And like I said, we do have a safety team that we can address this with, and Jack, I'm sure, is on it.
Yeah, the point about the trophy was a good one. We had to move them out of here because it got, when Super Bowl International we had them for 6-7 years. The trophy was the same every year. You couldn't even, you had them lined up in here, and you couldn't even tell. You had to go up and read what year they were.
Yeah.
So they don't give a lot of thought to jazzing up the trophies as you're talking about, and neither does OPA, frankly. So that's a great idea. We'll mark it up. So moving on, Gail, anything under Operation Finance?
Yes, sir. Really good news. We received official notification from Destinations International, and I'll just read the header of what they share. On behalf of the team at Destinations International, I extend our sincere appreciation for your continued membership and support. Your commitment to our organization plays a vital role in strengthening the destination industry and fostering collaboration and innovation within our community. This is the entity that accreditates us, so the attached invoice that we received from them is very well received because that accreditation fee is peanuts compared to the benefits that we receive from Destinations International. They have 4 pillars of membership that serve as the foundation of the organization, and they are community, advocacy and research, destination tools, and the complete suite of destination tools equips the members with the resources we need, giving us data, giving us best practices, looking forward into resources, but also looking at advocacy and education of our state legislature and financial pot of money. And then, of course, the professional development that we receive, and as Linda is our accredited CDME, is that the correct letters? Yes. And we have a couple other staff that are really getting close. This is a happy day for me to see that our accreditation is on target and continued. And then I have one other thing, and that is that I need for board members to come see me briefly after the meeting to give me your VIP request for 2024 for all the events. So, thank you.
Yeah, we've got, I'm correct.
I was gonna say, make sure, board members, make sure you get your bids in, because the supply is really low. I'm just kidding, go ahead.
And we're on that note, we're cutting off sales to the public Friday on VIP. Yeah, we're done, we can't sell anymore. We have a schedule set up for the audit too, correct?
Yes,
August.
that's in August, 2 weeks after the race.
Yeah, can't wait. You guys can join us. If you guys would like to join us for that, you're welcome. Anybody go
Actually, I would.
Yeah.
And just to the thing on Destination DMI, this is the organization that I really believe should do a rating system. I think counties. I know I'm gonna beat this thing to death.
I got some good stuff for you.
Yeah.
We got a surprise for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we do
Well, then I
this.
won't say anything else.
Yeah.
Because I really think we would be, I'm sure in the top 10, very strongly in top 5.
If I
It
start-
would not surprise me if we were at the top. I know there's some big cities out there, but big is not always better. And I think the reports we get back from, like our accountant, and the reports we get back from the different organizations, like getting awards for our boat race, and just the thoroughness that we put into doing the things that we're supposed to be doing as an organization, I think we're just right there at the top. Being recognized by NITDC as the one to take on the responsibility of heading up the region and taking over that whole process and project. There's a lot going on here, and I really want to make sure that the community understands that we're about the county and that we do represent the county, and we try to do everything to promote the county and the individual communities within the county. And I think we do an excellent job of that. And I've been through accreditation processes in the past and a lot of that kind of activity, and just looking at our tourism bureau, I think, and I'm not just saying that because, you know, I'm on the board and I'm part of the organization, I'm seeing it truly as a community member and respective of the staff and the team that puts forth the effort to get all of these things done that we do. So I really want to somehow get to the people at DMI. If you're going to give me a surprise, that's fine. But
Tell me when you want it. Well, I got it.
Yeah, I really agree with you. It's sort of a neat situation, like with your Chamber of Commerce's accreditation. You have 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, and then accredited. And, you know, so you could actually compare, like our chamber was a 5-star chamber, and you can compare it with other chambers. Gee, Christmas, we're, you know, 5-star, just like Albuquerque, New Mexico, or something, you know.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. So yeah, I agree with your point that there should be some measurement.
so that when we say we're accredited, we can, like you said, we can say, and these are the other counties around the country that are accredited at our level. Okay, so
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not, without letting the cat out of the bag, I can tell you where I got the information. Let me just do that. DMAI could not help us. Our state organization couldn't. There were just way too many variables, and they don't even get, I couldn't even compare budgets, let alone the kind of stuff we're talking about here. But so we hired Surtech, who does our economic impact. And Dan helped me with this a little bit. Him and I put our heads, because I told him I was getting beat up by the board president, and I was tired of it, and I wanted to get so we come up with the right questions, and we posed it to Surtech, and we paid them to come in and do some analyzing for us. And we've got some, I don't know when Planning Next wants to really put that out. Okay, yeah, so it's good stuff.
pull back a little bit.
Yeah, you'll be very pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
So we're trying to, well, we're in good shape. So Linda, you're up.
And I'll be short, Jack.
Okay.
I know you always want to speed it up. First of all, Gail, I want to thank you for reading what we received from DI. I think Amy and I are the two that usually go every year and so on, but just what you said to the board, I think just illuminates the organization itself. And the good part about that is ITA, the Indiana Tourism Association, has been working with DI, and they're trying to also send people to DI more. The executive director, Carrie Lampert, does go to DI as well and works with that group a lot and brings some of that back to the Indiana Tourism Association. So that was very touching, so thank you. And Amy is working on her CDME. Actually, this year she'll be going, these classes go like, they're up 5 minutes and then they're gone. So she's had to play around, but she's let me know yesterday that she did get in the class that's going to be in Puerto Rico later this year. So she'll be able to take a core class and I think an elective to finish up. But she's very close. And then by next year, she'll probably wrap that up and go through the whole graduation ceremony and receive her award. So
Tell her we're out of travel money.
I'm not going to say anything, but so the CVB is real proud to be part of that organization, and over the years it's really grown, and you meet people from all over the world, and that's how Canada kept pushing over the years, because they never went to Canada. Now we've been to Canada twice, and just getting those different experiences. So
we gotta get them to come here.
I knew that was going to come up too, Pat, but we'll work on that.
Okay, all right.
But USA, okay?
No, LaPorte County.
I know. But anyway, so, thank you, Gail. I just wanted, because as you were reading that, it just really shows the significance of that group and that organization. And then it just trickles down to the other groups that we're proud of and that we're part of as well. So moving on, most of you were at Blue Chip last week, 2 weeks ago, when we went around and just talked about different things that are going on with the boat race, and Jack did a great job in Chelsea, just explaining everything. So marketing-wise, Amy and I met yesterday. Obviously, a lot of the digital and social media going on. The 3 radio stations I told you the other week that we've picked up, WCOE and WLOI, and they're excited to be back on board with us. So I've heard some spots that they're going to be playing on the radio. The Hometown News is going to have our banner up there, similar to what we do with WIMS, so that you can click it and look at everything. It goes straight to the Great Lakes Grand Prix page. And then WNDU out of South Bend, worked a package out with them, and I'll have those details. I have a call with them today. So there's still a lot going on. We'll probably be popping in the Herald Dispatch, and maybe the Beecher did really well last year, just with the one announcement just showing the 2 aquacross races, and then the Great Lakes Grand Prix, putting the schedule back in there, just so if you don't, the Beecher's everywhere, just like our visitor guide. But we just want every angle covered, other than people if they don't have access to go online. And I know Doonland Media's done a great job working with Amy on the website and everything that we needed to change and move forward with. So Adam, thanks to your team. And so those are just, it's ongoing. It's just not, so Jack will be, announcement next month, he'll be on WCOE talking to, is it Dennis Siddell, and talking about the boat race and so on and so on, and giving updates on everything. Then he'll move to WIMS and do the same, and WeFM. And with that, after that, then all the staff is going to start. You'll hear them all over the place, just giving updates via radio and so on. I know WeFM has from 8:15 to 8:30. You can either call in or go, and I've heard you, Don, just talking about it. We want to just start getting that out more and more. You've seen the 2 big poster billboards that we have out on Franklin now, so it's just in everybody's face as they're driving, and we just want to be sure everybody, is excited. The Indiana School North has it up as well, and so it's a lot going on especially when July 1st hits, it starts getting real crazy, but our staff is doing a beautiful job in handling everything, and that's why what's going on today with the downtown at City Hall in the basement, a lot of these things are so, you have to know them, and it just makes things a lot better. Kudos to Terry Greetham, who's really helped put this all together. Obviously with his events, he has to do a lot of the similar things, but just safety is the #1 priority, and so on. And ending, just wanted to mention, June's been a busy month for events and luncheons, and this month, CVB sponsored, it was the 4th annual Indiana Black Expo gala, which was at Blue Chip. It was a luncheon, and there was over 107 attendees, which was really great. And Pat Harris was there to make the big presentation, and that went to who, Pat?
Erica Stallworth. She received the Lifetime Achievement Award from Indiana Black Explosion City Chapter, and for her accomplishment in being appointed to judge magistrate for the circuit court. And she gave a phenomenal speech, as she is capable of doing, and it was about her journey. And just sharing that was like goosebumps all over me to hear her story, the challenges, the obstacles in achieving. So very honored to have presented that to her. Thank you, Linda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well deserved for her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If you've ever heard her speak, she's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pat.
Quick question: do we ever? This is kind of a little bit of a capacity kind of question, kind of thing. So, promote. Okay, get everybody come to town. Are we worried about our capacity to handle? Because the question, the deeper question to me is, and I know this is expensive, do we ever consider Chicago media or the Northwest Indiana Times? I'm not sure what we do with either one of those, but can we handle it if we got another 50%? Or I'm just broadest question.
Good question, and I know Terry is working with WLS in Chicago, and he worked with them for the Singing Saints.
Okay, sure.
So he is looking into someone that he knows.
Okay.
Years ago, we did work with like NBC, and they came out and did some videotape and had it on television and so on. Through their analytics, it didn't show, but this was early in, and now I think more and more people know about it. It's always an option. It's just very expensive.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
That's
the good point with what you're saying is, how many can we hold? Because even...
And why advertise if you're slammed already?
Yeah, and I think there's always room for more because there's other things to do in between the race and everything that's happening downtown. But I think we've got, enough people working with us, but some of the others, even with South Bend, just in some of those numbers that we were looking at, it was like, okay, we're not really getting a draw South Bend, Elkhart, and that whole area there. Plus, they go into Michigan.
Right.
So we thought this, it's worked so far for us.
Yeah, I'm not being critical. I'm just asking
no.
Well, the question we've got to answer before I'm going to move any money that way is, how do we advertise to our real market, which is the third-party vacation rentals? Okay, we got to answer that question first, then we can go and decide what where we want to present it, because that is flip-flop now. That's our biggest market by far. We've outpaced the under roof 60-40 percentage-wise. Okay, 60% of our dollars are now coming in from third-party rentals, so it's a big deal, and we got to figure that out first, and we're on it. You'll be hearing some stuff in the planning process. We've turned it over to planning next, and I've challenged Amy with some ideas and waiting on her to get back with us. So that'll be the change in that. So just in deference to time, Brett, do you have a short report? Please.
You always say that to me.
There's a couple we got to remind.
As always, we're super busy in the city of LaPorte. Coming up, let's see here, July 5th, we have our 4th annual Taco Fest sponsored by Arnett Construction at the 600 block of Monroe, the Stitch area. Generally draws over 2,000 people. Last year we had over 10 taco vendors and the lines were still over an hour long, so we've added more. I hate
That's a long wait for a taco.
It is, however, like when you look at the small area imprint, and the thing I will say is, although the lines were long, we have several local restaurants in the downtown, and the idea of our Friday Night Lives was to draw people into our downtown area. And I can tell you from talking to Mucho Mas, Four Seasons, Bare Bones, Red Door, and Taquarienda and Downtown Delights. All those businesses posted record profits last year, or record sales during our event. So we're accomplishing what we're looking out to. I've added more trucks. At some point, I think we're going to outgrow that area. We're going to have to be a little more creative, but at this point, we're going to make it work. So the public knows, we've added like 4 or 5 extra trucks this year. Hopefully that'll be better. We're going to expand the blueprint a little bit and go more into the lots than just on the street there. But we're real excited for that. That event has grown tremendously and it will continue to do so. We are going to be marketing heavily. Of course, July 4th, LaPorte, Indiana is always the capital of the state of Indiana. This year, the Kiwanis and the city of LaPorte managed to get Mayor Holcomb, or Mayor, let me rephrase that. Governor Holcomb is going to be the Grand Marshal for the parade. He'll be in the parade. We actually are lucky. The CBB has actually helped sponsor the, Jack, what is the actual title of the bus?
Yeah, I was calling it a replica, but it's not. It's the original bus that was in Hoosiers.
Yes.
Is coming here. Okay, I think that's all it's called, right?
I believe so.
But it's the original bus.
The original bus from Hickory in the movie Hoosiers is going to be in the parade. We're actually going to do some photo opportunities with it that morning at the Civic before the parade to help market the LaPorte Invitational. That's going to be January 9th to the 11th in 2025. We have some banners and a float made up for a truck to be in the parade behind that bus to help market the event. We're going to be marketing, hopefully, the jet ski races. We're working with Michelle for Lake Fest. Lake Fest will have its own float as well. I believe the Great Lakes Grand Prix will be represented in the LaPorte Parade as well. I think everyone here knows that parade draws over 20,000 to the downtown. It is quite remarkable for a community our size to be able to do that. And then going on from there on July 19th, we have a great concert scheduled at the Civic. I'm actually really excited for this one because it's a little different. It's a Billy Joel, Elton John combo tribute off the East Coast. They do it dueling piano style where they have 2 grand pianos in the front of the stage with the backup band behind them, and they play together all night long and just alternate back and forth with music. It's like a 2.5-hour show. Extremely excited for that. The floor is more than half sold out already. So if you're looking for floor tickets, please do so quickly. Upcoming after that in August, let's see, August 16th, we have a Maroon 5 tribute out of the Dallas coming into the Civic. And then September 6th, we have a Pink Experience tribute coming to the Civic. And then we'll also have our downtown Friday Night Live in August. It is August 9th. And that is called Cheeseburger in Paradise. We have a great band coming in for that. And for that one, we do a cheeseburger, best cheeseburger out of the trucks contest with a lot of other variety of vendors as well. So lots going on. We're also in the middle of planning for the 25th. Hard to believe it's already 25 years old. Annual Sunflower Fair. We talked to Diane, we're going to get a little publicity for that at the parade this year as well to market it sooner. And last year we drew over 10,000 people to Michigan Avenue on Saturday, September 18th. This year it's going to be, or 19th, no, 20, I can't remember that date. I can tell you this year's Sunflower Fair is going to be September 21st. And it's from 8 to 4, and we're very excited. We think we're going to break records with that. Once again, well, actually might mess up weather sometimes. We'll put Jack in charge of the weather for that one. So,
Take a quick look before I do.
The weather.
I was going to check.
Part of the weather.
but I'll stop right there. Yeah, I woke him up, sorry.
Great update, thanks, yeah. You got a good job with everything, the Civic especially, but you're really doing a great job there. Dale, if you got, can you give us an update on Juneteenth, please?
Oh, it was June 16th that I was lucky enough to be the MC at the annual Juneteenth celebration. They had a fantastic lineup, and it was a wonderful afternoon for everybody. And then this past Saturday, we had Art Bash at Blue Chip for the Lebesnick Center, and I think it was, I was chair of that. I think that might be the 6th year that I've been chair, and it was a great event as well. Don was there, and Becky was there. It looked like they were having a good time, so that was wonderful as well.
Thank you, Pat, great deal. Okay, so, Pat, I'm looking down the list.
County Event Director, I'll just,
Yeah.
the fair, the LaPorte County Fair,
begins July 6th. It's a big deal. It's the oldest fair in the state of Indiana. So we want to make sure it is a county fair. You know, sometimes people get this thing of it's in LaPorte, so it's LaPorte. No, it's a county fair. And we do support that with the event director. Joy is not here today, otherwise she'd be pounding it. So you guys get out, get your families out, make sure you enjoy something going on that entire week. It goes, starts on the Saturday the 6th, and it goes through that following Sunday, which I think is the 14th. Lots of things going on out there, so make sure we represent Michigan City. I tried to get a Michigan City day, but didn't work out this year. We'll keep pounding on that. You know what I mean by pounding. So we'll try to get that. I think it's a good idea to do that, but there's some complications with it that we have to work through.
The rides won't start till Monday at noon.
Fair point here.
Yeah, the rides won't start till.
And Pat, as you're mentioning the fair, one thing I did omit, and I mentioned it while we were at Blue Chip, is that Dale and I, July 6th, will be at the crowning of the LaPorte County Fair Queen. And once she is selected, we're going to meet with her and set up a meeting and offer her the great opportunity to be the Great Lakes Grand Prix, Miss Great Lakes Grand Prix for our boat race this year. We haven't done this in several years, so we're real excited. So once she's crowned, we'll have a chance to chat and kind of go over some of the responsibilities and so on. But
That's excellent.
yes, so we're real excited about that. Yeah.
So there's no king of the fair?
You will be king.
No, I'm just equal footing kind of thing, you know, I'm not me.
Yeah, so far there has not been a king that I've known of in the past.
Yes.
Okay, we're done. Okay, we're done. Okay, is there any unfinished business for the board to review at this time? Any new business? Board comments?
I received an email. Many of you might know Dr. Andrew Seraphin, who was on our chamber board. And he sent, and he was here visiting, and he sent an email to all his friends in Florida. And this is sort of neat. And it's a picture of the dunes. And it said, Florida folks, this is what real dunes look like.
Oh.
And I thought that was neat. We're talking about a marketing thing. You know, I mean, there's people, I know of people that have been here that's gone to Lake Michigan and they've never been to Lake Michigan before. Like that, like from the East Coast to the West Coast, they might go, what is this, an ocean out here? I mean, they really don't. They don't have a concept of what the dunes look like or what the lake looks like. I mean, you know, to my Florida friends, this is what the dunes look like, real dunes. I thought it was pretty neat.
That is.
Yeah.
Advertising, we didn't have to pay for it, right? That's great. Okay, any other board comments?
I just want to mention that Lake Fest planning is coming along really well. We've got a lot of good things this year. It's really shaping up to be a great event. A lot more kids activities, a lot of physical activities with volleyball tournaments and 5K runs, and a lot of good stuff. Concert, fireworks. We really changed up Friday night to kind of try to get like a whole is that hype entertainment?
Yes, we redubbed it a Friday Night Live as well, since we've had such great success with it downtown.
Yeah, a lot of food trucks. It's a DJ that's going to come in and kind of change throughout the evening with the younger generation and the type of entertainment that they put on, with some live entertainment to go along with the DJs, food trucks, different events and vendors, and yeah, it's coming along really well. So just want to point to that.
The jet skis count's going to be way up for that too, because we're getting that whole new regional group, the Great Lakes group, that are coming there, who are actually looking to bring their international championship to Stone Lake in 25. Yeah, in a different week. But yeah, that's a big deal. So we'll probably have 80 more skis on top of what we are.
Wow.
Yeah, 80 to 100, yeah.
That's
Jack, can I share one quick thing? I forgot to bring this up during my update. But Friday night, we had a late request from the band for some extra rooms that played at the Civic, the tribute group. And we started trying to call around and find them 3 extra rooms that night. And we called every hotel in the city of LaPorte. We called Blue Chip, 3 others in Michigan City. Ended up having to send them to Porter County, which I hate to say that in here, because everybody was full. This was on a Friday night. I think the Orange was going on at the fairgrounds, but outside of that, I mean, that is just tremendous, I thought.
well, that's
Like everybody, even Pine Lake Resort, Blue Heron Inn, Holiday Inn Express, Hampton, Quality, we called all of them. And my wife and I were up from 11 to 12 just making phone calls trying to find them another space.
I can just tell you briefly, I watched it real closely, try to see what moves the needle on our hotels. And for the month of May, the biggest hit we got in the first 2 weeks of June was construction workers from out of town that we got because of the storm here in Michigan City. That was huge. The second was the holiday weekend actually was off the charts. It's the biggest one we've had. Youth sports and volleyball.
Yep.
Volleyball came up at least twice, right? At least maybe 3 times. So we keep track of that on why it's driving it. But yeah, it's a great thing. You know, our numbers have been good.
sorry.
You got it, kid.
And what you?
President.
Sorry, folks. Sorry.
You said board member comments, if they're still open.
Yes.
I had an inquiry in a different group just last week and didn't quite fit us, but there is, and maybe we're using this, my ignorance, but there is new technology out now relative to people's cell phones and recording where they're at any point in time. And I don't know if we're using any of that, but you can literally tell by destination within a community how many people are actually, not by person by a name, but by volume, by who is, where, when. And I think that would be interesting technology to at least explain to the board how much or not we're using it, or whether it's worth exploring more or not. So
that's a good comment. I actually have a meeting tomorrow with one of those companies, and they ran a test on an event, and they're going to demonstrate it to Robbie, and I'm going to look at it on behalf of to see if it's a good fit for this CBB and for other CBB.
I think it proves out, because my guess is that many times when we're making estimates, a certified estimate by our consultant relative to how many people are coming to our community at different events. But this data, at least the explanation to me was, it was substantially more reliable and more actionable relative to, you can see, okay, if we place an ad, to your point earlier here, over in South Bend, are we getting the South Bend lift specifically, or is somebody out there counting license plates?
Don, it goes even quicker than that. But the private company that's using it now, using this service, they'll be able to send emails out to those patrons before they leave the
it's so powerful.
Thank you. This is something we've been working on, and this is part of the regional group.
Yeah, good. I think it probably begs part of the planning retreat too. But go ahead.
We had a sample of that ran for the city of LaPorte.
Yeah.
I mean, it drilled down to median income, where they were from, what they looked at, like if it was ESPN or Facebook, like how they might have picked up on what they were using at the facility. It was quite amazing.
Well, we hear these anecdotal stories. If maybe they're not so anecdotal. Okay, this many people went to the outlet mall. This many people went to Blue Chip. This many people went to Washington Park. We have a new restaurant in town. How many people are actually going to the restaurant or not? I just thought that it really added to the depth of knowledge relative to how effective are we and who is our real audience and what are we trying to attract, right? So
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, any other board comments? I'll just briefly remind everybody, the back to school rally, August 10th at Gill Field, starting at 11 a.m. Anybody wants to volunteer? See me.
It's just, the July meeting, Pat's got noted on the agenda, that Plenty Next will be visiting us live for that meeting. They'll be, so instead of going into a workshop virtual like we're going right now, they'll be coming in and staying for the actual interaction in our July meeting.
So put that on your calendar and make sure you are all present. This strategic planning process is very, very important at this point in time for our county. So, just encouraging you to lock in that date. Anything else, Jack? With that, I will ask, thank you all for participating, and I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So,
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any opposed? All in favor? Let's adjourn. See you guys next month at July 23rd.